Okay, welcome to Social Media 101. It's just some social media tips and ideas for the education for the National Concierge Association. So after the webinar, I'm going to record this. We'll be able to send out access so that you guys can rewatch this if you want. I did also show you that there's a web page now on the new site that has some PDF files for best practices on some of the biggest social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest. After I'm done too, what I'd ask is everybody to maybe share some of their social media successes, or if you have any questions for me, please feel free to comment or as we go along here. So social media has become the #1 activity on the web. And why that's important, that's basically saying that your customers, your clients, your members are basically on the web, and they're in social media. They're on Facebook, they're looking at Twitter, they're searching, looking at their different accounts all the time. So that's really where you should be and engaging your customers and clients. This I thought was kind of a funny cartoon, the old vintage social networking and how things have really changed and how certain things are replacing, Post-it notes are now Twitter, and what you used to have to write is now WordPress for a blog, and LinkedIn is now your new Rolodex. YouTube is basically out the window for videos and stuff. Social media ideas and tips. So what I'm doing again is just kind of showing you, thinking about when you're using your social media tools like Facebook and Twitter, what are you doing? And the biggest thing I think a lot of people make mistakes at is they're only pushing the conversation one-sided. So the #1 tip I can give you guys when you're using social media is to engage your audience. When it comes to social media, you want to do 2 things: engage and get people involved. Share content that resonates with your audience. Reward your loyal followers, clients, by letting them be the first to know about new services or events. Be useful, give them valuable input, answer questions, solve problems, be helpful to your clients, become the expert and share your knowledge. So if you are working for the Minneapolis Athletic Club, basically what you guys want to be is be able to give those members all the information that they need, and you can push that through Twitter or Facebook and ask your members to like you on Facebook and your page so that they're following that. Ask them to follow you on Twitter so that you can, they can even ask you questions using these social media tools. #2 tip is be social. Too many times I see my clients, they've created a blog or they've created a Facebook page. They're on Twitter, but when I go to check out their Facebook page, they haven't posted anything for months. There's no interaction. So what you want to try and do is really carve out a little bit of time every day or every week to post some information. Sorry about that. So basically figure out time to do that, and then once you start writing comments or give offers or give advice when you post stuff, basically creative posts, videos, images. You want to have fun with your posts and you want to share your knowledge. So as a concierge, obviously you have a lot of knowledge and you want to be pushing that out via social channels to your clients, members. You want to try and keep it interesting. And you also, with this, you can develop ongoing relationships with your customers, again, asking questions, answering questions for your clients. Basically, with social media or a blog, again, you want to show your expertise, become an expert in your industry or in your niche. Help others. Think about ways that you can help others. If they need event information, they want to know something about the building, if it's a corporate residency, maybe about amenities or a restaurant or other things that they want. So basically what you're trying to do is with your followers, you're trying to be as helpful as possible in sending out the information that you have through Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. Also, you don't want to really promote yourself. You don't want to be like a sales too pitchy, too salesy. Basically what you want to do is just build relationships and trust and basically just give them the information that they want. I think that's one of the biggest common mistakes is people think about, themselves and they're only promoting themselves. What you need to think about is who's your target audience and what information do they want. So maybe, again, if I go back to a member of the athletic club, what information do those members need or want? So the first thing that you need to do with social media, obviously, is complete your profiles. And with being a concierge, I would highly recommend LinkedIn. I'm guessing most of you are on LinkedIn, but I'm going to kind of go over that. Obviously, Facebook page is important, and Twitter. So when you're thinking about your profiles, think about, who are you, where you're located, what you do for a living. With your profile photo, obviously, if you have a professional photo, that would be best. And make sure it's a photo of yourself. When people are searching for you on LinkedIn or Facebook, your Facebook page or whatever, have a photo of yourself. You don't want to confuse people, or if people are searching for you with some kind of other icon or something. When I'm saying using tags or keywords, again, this is something with LinkedIn. Make sure you're using like concierge or other industry keywords when you're describing yourself, because then if people are searching for you on LinkedIn or your Facebook page or even on Twitter, you'll pop up and they can find you and become a follower. Obviously, you want to make sure your contact information is correct and updated. Make sure that your Twitter feed is linking back to your blog or your business site. Ask for reviews and comments and recommendations. That's really important too on LinkedIn. Obviously, you can ask for recommendations. So,
can I break in with a question about LinkedIn recommendations?
Yep.
I've heard this a number of times and have found it to be true, is that it will pop up for and ask for an endorsement of someone on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
And you can endorse them, but it may not be something that they are, like a skill that they possess. They just sort of, I think they just sort of like, I don't know if they pick random ones or how those even pop up, but I've heard from other people that they've been endorsed for things that they don't even do, like, brain surgery. That's a stupid example, but, they could be endorsed for something that they don't do.
And that's a brand new thing. I think LinkedIn's trying to get more interactive, and they've basically just started a thing where it's like whoever you're connected with, you might get a pop-up window that says, hey, recommend Tom Jones for this, or this, and hopefully they're clicking on how you've done business with them. But I think what's happening is because LinkedIn is trying to automate that and become more interactive, people might be clicking on things that you maybe don't do. So what I would definitely suggest is, obviously don't recommend somebody. Don't click on something that they don't do. And if you don't know them, don't recommend them. And from your own personal standpoint, obviously people that you've worked with or the connections, ask for their recommendations, be it your concierge service or your business. I hope that kind of answered the question on that, but it is something new with LinkedIn that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So basically, once you set up your profiles and stuff, obviously you need to make connections. So you can increase your network, and basically what that does is it creates a pyramid effect. So one person knows 3 people, 3 people know 10 people. Why a Facebook page can become so effective is that if you get one person to like your page, they might have 500 friends. They might have 1,000 friends. So now you are basically getting free advertising from that one person that likes your page. And obviously as you're adding content to that Facebook, that person will see those feeds as well, and they, again, could share it out to the people that they have. I would also recommend with LinkedIn, obviously, you can see second connections, search through people's connections, and maybe there's people out there that you want to connect with. I would recommend basically finding key influencers. So like in LinkedIn, maybe you find some leaders in the concierge industry, the whole hotel industry, corporate residential building management, whatever industry you guys are a part of, think about who those people are, find them on LinkedIn, and ask to link in with them. Why is social media so effective, and what makes it great too is the fact that it's low-cost marketing. So now you don't have to travel to go to meetings or conferences. You don't necessarily even have to leave your desk. You can
except for our National Concierge Conference.
Exactly. Well, of course you want to keep that up, but basically think about this now. So you have a Facebook page, you have a Twitter, hopefully you've gotten followers, or with your LinkedIn, basically if you give that 10 minutes or 15 minutes a day, or you give your weekly time, basically you can via email send out links to your clients that link back to your social media, like your Facebook page, or if you have posts. Basically all of these things can enhance your reputation and your services. The other thing with social media, you can use it for customer service. I've noticed a lot of companies now, basically, people are going to their Facebook and saying, hey, I'm not happy with the service, or thank you so much for the service. And it's really important that you, if you're controlling your Facebook page, that you're responding and commenting back to those, even if they're negative. Maybe try and resolve them. Don't necessarily delete those things. Another way to kind of market your social media channels is to add it to your email signature. So at the bottom, most people have their name and title, phone number, email address. I would recommend, like if you're really using LinkedIn, to add LinkedIn. You could add your Facebook page. You could add your Twitter handle. So when you're communicating with your clients via email, they can say, oh, look, they're on Twitter. I'm going to follow them on Twitter. Or, oh, they have a Facebook page. Let me like that Facebook page. Also, on your website, your corporate website or your blog, I think most people have caught on to this, is make sure you're adding your social media links to that. So if somebody finds you online or goes to your website, they can see, hey, oh, he is on Twitter, or she's on Twitter, or the company's on Twitter, or they're on Facebook, so that they can click on that. So basically the other idea is, so we created profiles on the pages, give them all the information about yourself. And then what you want to do too is think about a social media calendar. I think if you don't have a plan or a goal for your online social media, it probably becomes too overwhelming, or what am I doing, or you're just kind of thinking off the top of your head how you can post. And what I really would recommend is sitting down, thinking about your yearly calendar. I'm sure a lot of you have similar events that you're running all the time, or that you have certain news or annual things that pop up. Maybe you can sit down and kind of month by month go over, gee, what are the things that are going on with my business, and what do I want to share to my customers, clients, members, and kind of create an editorial calendar for the year. That will help you say, oh, okay, today I was going to post something about this event in the building or at the club. And while you're doing that too, it's important to ask yourself, what is your audience looking for? So instead of you necessarily making all the decisions on what am I going to post out there, start thinking to yourself about what do they want to know about. And that in turn, obviously, more people will start following you. If you're pushing them news that they need or want, or events that they need or want, they're going to really appreciate that, and more people will start following you. Again, I would recommend joining LinkedIn if you're not on that. Hopefully most of you are. Basically, it's free. You can go to LinkedIn and create a profile. Also, if you haven't done a company page yet, I would highly recommend that for your company. Basically, LinkedIn has just launched a new company profile where you can almost create a whole web page within LinkedIn and add a lot more functionality to it. Obviously, as a concierge, LinkedIn is a great professional network. It's a way to meet people, network with people, connect with other professionals. It's easy to use. You can make connection with people you already know as well, and then you can connect with their connections. Also, I would recommend following up with LinkedIn email. So basically it has a built-in email system. So if you see somebody on LinkedIn that you want to connect with, you can send them a personal email, or you can ask them to link in with you.
If you're sending someone an email through LinkedIn, that doesn't go directly to their email. it goes to their LinkedIn email, and then sometimes they don't monitor
they
that all
have
the
it,
time?
Right. If they have it set up to go to their email, I know that that's a setting. So I know that when people contact me through LinkedIn, it goes straight into my email. Hopefully they have that, or hopefully they're active enough to see that. If you needed immediate response, I would never use LinkedIn. I would use their direct email, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, take advantage of the new LinkedIn profile layout. A lot of people obviously might have created a company profile 6 months ago or a year ago. Well, right now that's basically outdated because LinkedIn just launched this new interface where you have more photos, you have recent updates, you have thumbnails of who you're connected to. You can also list your products and services. Let me go back to sharing my desktop real quick. And if I go into LinkedIn, this is actually the LinkedIn company profile page. So now, if you look at this, before it was just a paragraph of text. Now you have a banner image. You can customize that and put any image in there that you want. You have a careers tab, so you can list jobs or careers within your company. You can list your products or services. Basically, if I click on that, LinkedIn shows what their different products and services are. I would highly recommend going and do that. So if you're a concierge, go in and list out all the different services that you offer to your members or clients or customers. Insights, again, that might be information about your business and stuff. So that's kind of what the new LinkedIn looks like. And if you haven't been there recently, like I said, definitely log in. Go back and look at your company profile page and make sure that you're using and utilizing the new layouts within LinkedIn. I know it's really hard to keep up with all this, and they're constantly changing, so you do have to be proactive with this. Facebook, I know, just changed a little bit with their layout as well. So I'm going to go back.
And where's the area in this place where you have those settings that you referred to, where you would be telling it to send you into your personal email anyone who communicates with you?
I'm not sure on that. Basically, what I would recommend is going to the website link that I shared you, and it has the LinkedIn best practices. Also, if you search on LinkedIn, there should be plenty of information there on how to kind of control all of that.
Where are you seeing that? Across
it was
in
at the
blue
beginning.
where it says home profile, contacts, groups, jobs, inbox, companies.
Right.
Is that
so
the area?
No, it was. You weren't on the call yet. There it is. Yeah. Probably this is.
So basically, what I would recommend
website.
What I would recommend again is go back to LinkedIn Best Practices PDF.
Oh, that.
Search on
okay.
LinkedIn.
No, I did see that.
Okay.
Haven't been able to go there.
Now I'm going to go back to the presentation again. So that just kind of shows you how things can change so fast. Go back and check your company profile, add those photos, go in and add services. There's a lot more information that you can add now. And basically, like I said, take advantage of the new profiles. So with LinkedIn, obviously there's lots of groups. And I highly recommend that you go and join groups within your industry, or even in industries that you think might be parallel to yours. Basically, you can search for different groups. I would recommend joining those. It's a great way to connect with people, find new customers or clients for your concierge services. You can join up to 50 different groups. And once you're in the groups, what I recommend is obviously being active, like post information, respond, comment with the different posts and stuff like that. And that's a great way to add connections and clients. Another idea that I have for your business is once you're in LinkedIn is start your own group. Basically, that way you can create a bigger network. You can have control over the group. You can share expertise. You can plan events. You can send announcements, build a reputation. So with building your own group, I mean, think about geo-targeting in your location. So if you're in Washington, D.C., why not create a Washington, D.C. concierge group, ask people to join the group and start the conversation up, send out information. So think about that and who you would invite into your group. This is a great way to network and, like I said, build your company's reputation up and become kind of the expert in whatever that is, if it's concierge services in Washington, D.C.
Pat, would that be something that ought to be run past the NCA?
Yeah, and I mean, the NCA definitely has their own group. But
Right.
like I said, the more groups that you have, so you might have a different group that you don't necessarily have to be an NCA
Yeah,
member
if you're doing it for your business, probably no. That's
On LinkedIn, there is a concierge networking group that I
Right.
belong
Yep.
to,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and
there
that you
is.
can post in people post in threads and answer questions and communicate that way.
Exactly.
But
and,
the other
and think
piece-
about, well, I was
Go
going to say, and think about doing it as a location. So let's say you're doing Washington, D.C. Now
Okay.
you're only talking about Washington, D.C. You're talking about the restaurants there. You're talking about the office spaces there. You're talking about the events there or the tickets or whatever it is. People from Washington, D.C. might see that and say, you know, wow, I want a concierge from Washington, D.C. or I need a corporate concierge in Washington, D.C. This person obviously knows what they're talking about, you know, and you're talking about all the different things that you do in services. If I was a professional there, I might look at that and say, hey, I want to join that group. I live in Washington, D.C. Now, again, you're gaining more clients or more members or et cetera.
And of
So
course,
anybody
everybody
can
knows
start
that
a
you're
group.
associated with the NCA, so then we'll get more members too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
it all comes around. So
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, that's definitely one way to add a lot of clout connections. You know, just kind of think about that, maybe brainstorm with your company or your business. What would that group be? What would the discussions be? I have more information on that here again. So if you start a group, you just think about, like, what topics would you talk about? What would be the interests of the group? Think of a creative name for the group. Obviously, if it has to do with concierge, you'd want to probably have that in the name. And then think about, like, what things your group would discuss, you know, create interesting topics, share knowledge, share ideas with your group. Basically, just keep the discussion going. You can have polls and surveys. Basically, just stay active within the group. And then also, the way you get people signed up is, again, you could advertise your group through your social networks. So if you have people following your Facebook page or you have people in your LinkedIn connections or on your Twitter, definitely say, hey, I just launched a group on LinkedIn. Please join me. And you can invite out people via email and see how many people you can get in. And even like a group of just 10 people or 15 people or 30 people could be a very effective marketing tool for you. A couple of just don't do's on LinkedIn, I guess, is just if you do join a group, don't try and post too much to it. Don't keep starting the same discussions in the group, or basically if you're promoting yourself too much or a sales pitch, kind of like if you were in a concierge group and there was like an insurance sales guy that joined in and he keeps on talking about insurance and selling insurance or selling products or something like that, that really would turn people off. So basically you just want to post relevant information in the group, and you definitely don't want to like spam the group. And think about it as not a one-way communication, but two ways, like basically comment on people's status, or if you added a story to a group and they comment back, then again comment back to them. And again, it's back and forth information there that you're sharing with each other. The other thing that I would recommend, other than LinkedIn for the concierge business, would be to create a blog. Now, if you don't have a blog on your business site, obviously you can create a blog using WordPress or Blogger. And what a blog is, it's a type of website. And what you want to do with your blog is you want to post regular entries. You can post events, graphics, videos, articles. You basically provide news and interesting information to your members, customers, clients, and then you ask them to basically follow your blog through an RSS feed. So those things are built in. The RSS feed would be built into Blogger or WordPress, or the new NCA Key site has that ability as well. And then if you're sharing information on your blog or your Facebook page, it is always good to ask permission. If you're taking somebody's article from another site and you're putting it on your site, maybe it was a great article about a hotel or a business or an office building. If you're going to be reusing it, you should contact them and say, hey, I want to put this on my blog or my Facebook page. That's a good way to do it. Also, what you don't want to do with a blog is add personal stories or discuss job issues or complain about your job. Or really, I'd recommend staying away from like any political posts and stuff, because you could turn off your customers or your clients. And again, you guys can go back to this PowerPoint presentation. If you don't have a blog or you're interested in starting a blog, I would recommend checking out Blogger. It's run by Google. It's free. You can easily create a blog there. You can easily post information. And then you can use that blog to share out into your social media channels like Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. WordPress, too, I'm guessing you've probably heard of it. Again, that's another place you can set up a free blog and start posting information about your industry or your expertise. So check that out as well. This is another issue I think a lot of people have is, gee, where do I find photographs and graphics for my Facebook page, to add to Twitter, to add to LinkedIn? So I've given you guys some resources here again. These are stock sites, and if you're buying images for the web, you only need to buy the low-res versions. And some of these sites are as cheap as like $1 or $2 for images. I know like the first one I list, 123rf.com, you could buy like a hotel lobby or a business meeting or a picture of somebody. If it's an article about your building or whatever, maybe you want to find that. But if just generic images to kind of make your post more interactive or more engaging, I think that's really important. If it's just text all the time, I don't think people will be that interested in it. So basically, now I'm just going to kind of talk about about Twitter and stuff. So Twitter is a microblogging service. Basically, what you want to do is you want to go out and get on Twitter, and then you start following people that you're interested in following, and follow people in your industry, and hopefully they'll start following you back, and you guys can start sharing tweets back and forth and information. Basically, you don't need to have approval to start following people. You can start following as many people as you want, and hopefully they'll start following you back. Basically, another good idea with Twitter is when you create your Twitter account is use your name. Basically, start building your own personal brand and keep it simple so that people can remember it. And basically, if your name is taken, try and find something like an abbreviation or something close to your name for your Twitter handle. Search for people to follow. Like I said, if you were like in the boating industry or something, you might go out and find one of the top boating companies and see who's following those boating companies, and then start following those people. And if you're in the industry and you're talking about boating, those people will be interested in following you. So think about how would that relate to the concierge services, and who would be following concierge, and go out there and try and follow those people, and hopefully they'll follow you back. Another idea is to do searches for, again, location. So if you're in Dallas, do searches for people in Dallas, or if you're in D.C., search for people in D.C., because they're more likely to follow you if you're tweeting about those locations. Also, I think it'll take a while once you get on Twitter, just kind of look and see how people are tweeting and different examples of tweeting, and you'll be able to learn the lingo. And I've also, on this presentation, I've given you just some of the essentials of Twitter, some of the things that you'll see on Twitter, which is basically a DM is a direct message, just like LinkedIn. where you can email people within LinkedIn. Actually, Twitter, you can also do direct messaging. So if somebody's following you on Twitter, you can send them a direct message without making it a public message. Basically, if you use the @ symbol and you know somebody's Twitter ID, you can use the @ symbol in their Twitter ID, and basically that's a way to send them a message publicly, and they can see that tweet. And what hopefully they'll do is they'll either respond to that tweet or possibly they'll retweet that tweet. So once you're on Twitter and people are following you, somebody might comment about your services or your products, and if it's a good tweet, what you want to do then is retweet their tweet to other people. And again, this is a way to get out there with more reach. Again, it's the idea of the pyramid connections, where hopefully if you sent a message to somebody, they might look at retweeting that out to their followers and so on. So again, your message can get out to multiple people. So if they were a member of the club and you tweeted something that was important, that member might have a Twitter account with 30 other people from the club that's following them, and they might say, wow, look at this event that I just got from the Minneapolis club. I want to retweet this out to my friends to tell them about what's going on. And so that's how you can, again, build new clients and customers. Also with Twitter, there's the hashtag. What that basically does is it creates a conversation between users of the network. So if you use hashtag concierge, if anybody searches concierge within Twitter, your post will show up. So basically it creates almost like a Google for Twitter. So what I would recommend is using the hashtag with keywords. So if it was an event like maybe it was a hockey game or something, you might use the hashtag Wild, like Minnesota Wild, or you might use the hashtag whatever the concert it was. If you're promoting that, or whatever event you're promoting, use hashtag with the event name. So if somebody's searching on Twitter for that event, your information, you can find that. Or even hashtag with your...
Are you doing that on your phone or on your...
You can do that either on your desktop,
iPad or on your computer.
Yep, iPad, your computer. So you might use hashtag Dallas. You might use hashtag DC. So if somebody was searching DC, your information, your tweets will show up if anybody searches for those locations. So again, that's a great way to find new followers and stuff. Almost done here, sorry. Basically Facebook again, you kind of saw the video earlier. You know, Facebook is where a lot of your customers and clients now are. There's 1 billion people using Facebook. And another great stat is 25% of users visit the site 6 times a day, which is amazing. Basically, what it is go where your customers are. If your customers are constantly on Facebook and looking at stuff, definitely put information out there on your Facebook page and ask them to follow that. I'll give you some tips on basically status ideas for Facebook. Again, it's back to the number one tip. You want to engage people on your Facebook page. So what you want to do is you want to ask questions. That might get responses from some of your followers or people that like your page. Post games and trivia. Interact with fan engagement. Again, incorporate relevant photos. A lot of times if you can add text to photos, that's a great way to do it. I noticed on the Minneapolis Club, you guys are posting like, you know, your book review photo or your event photo, and it has information on the photo. That's a great way to get people to respond to different posts. Think about adding links to your posts. So if there's an article out there that you want to share with people that are following you on Facebook, make sure that when you share that story, you're also adding a link to that. Or if you have a blog or your company website has a blog, if you post an article on your blog, make sure that you're taking a snippet of that and putting it on your Facebook and then linking it back to your company page. So basically you want to have, you know, a call to action for people or a way for people to learn more about your business. Again, think about ways to engage people. Another thing that I notice, a lot of people create Facebook pages, but they're not really asking people to like them. I go to a corporate page, and I know they have, a ton of people they do business with, but then I look and see they only have like 10 likes or 50 likes. And what I would recommend is definitely be actively seeking out people to like your Facebook page. One of the best ways to do this is to give them something. Most people want something. If you can have an offer or a deal, or I know a lot of you work with like partners, maybe you can offer something from one of your partners, or you can do a contest or a giveaway. Basically say, if you like our page, we're going to sign you up for this certain offer, or you might have a chance to win this event ticket or something like that. That's a great way to get some buzz going around your brand on Facebook, and a way to get more followers. The other thing is obviously with Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, it becomes too crazy. Obviously, you don't have time. You're doing your concierge business full time. You're like, man, I don't think I can go to Facebook. I can't go to Twitter. I can't go to LinkedIn. Well, now there's companies that are popping up that basically are platforms for managing all of the tools in one place. And actually, the leader of that is Hootsuite. Hootsuite's free for your basic account, and if you sign up on Hootsuite, you can basically have a platform where you're controlling your Facebook, your Twitter, your LinkedIn, all in one place. So within 5 minutes or 10 minutes, if you log into your Hootsuite account and you link up all your social media pages, you can control all of your social media pages in one place. And this is going to save you a lot of time and headache of going to each different page and logging in. And it also allows you to respond, and it also shows you if anybody's responding to your pages. So like on Facebook, if somebody comments on one of your posts, comment back. Again, create that conversation, or if they comment on it, like what they've said. Again, be interactive be social. That's important. I also put a link up here again for a website that I really like called Social Media Examiner. They have a ton of tips and guides on how to use social media and all the different social media tools. What else does social media do for you? Well, one of the things that it does for your company website or your blog is it really improves your search engine rankings or your SEO. Basically, all that information that you're putting out there, all those links that you're adding or adding back to your company page, obviously with your Twitter feed, you want to make sure that you have your website link on your Twitter page or your website link on your LinkedIn page. So as you have more connections in LinkedIn, people are seeing, what your company website is, and they're clicking back to your website, and all of that is generating more traffic to your business, and hopefully equating into more business for yourself or your company. Basically, again, you want to try and use keywords. When you're saying stuff like use words like concierge service or whatever industry you're in, make sure that you're using geo-targeting, again, your location. Concierge service is in Dallas. Concierge service is in Minneapolis. Think about when you're putting those keywords together, think about your location. And again, with search engine, content is king. The more content that you put out there on the web, more people are going to find you, more people are going to follow you, more people are going to know about your services and your business. And also Google awards social media interaction. So Google follows you, what you're doing on Twitter and what you're doing on Facebook and what you're doing on LinkedIn can all help in your rankings for your company business. Just wrapping up here, basically benefits of using social media. Again, you're creating connections, you're increasing your network. Again, you're providing a service or answer to your clients, so you can throw that information out rather than maybe them calling you now about those events. You can say, hey, I posted all those events on my Facebook page, or follow me on Twitter because I've always posting the most updated information on Twitter. Basically, you're building your online reputation. You're gaining trust from your customers. It's a low-cost marketing solution. And basically it's a great way to keep in touch with your different clients. And there's a social media checklist. Make sure that all your social media profiles are updated and completed. Like I said, LinkedIn just changed their company profile, so I would go up there and make sure that that's updated. Make sure you're posting messages and articles. Be active. Create a conversation. So, ask them questions. Engage your members. And lastly, for concierge, concierge can keep clients up to date with related news, events, and services of social media. If you begin to integrate your social media efforts with your services and concierge operations, you can find new and exciting ways to please your customers and leverage the technology. Suggestions via Facebook, Twitter, even text can really drive value to your customers. And that's it for the sorry if that was too long for you guys, presentation. Basically what I want to do is now open it up to you guys for some questions or if you guys want to share some of your success stories of how you're using social media to promote your business or your concierge services. Pat, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that.
I was just going to say the one thing that I want to talk about, one of the reasons I wanted to do this is because I'm quite illiterate on a lot of these things. But one person that I know that's really good at this is Karen Ritz. And so Karen, would you mind sharing a few of your stories? Because I think you've got a really good feel for this.
Sure. Well, I'm pretty excited because we're just starting to ramp up with floor buildings. We just had the one. And I'm going to try to be working a lot more with content for the floor buildings. And they're just completely flatlined, the other buildings, because they've been doing things like fact of the day that you get 1/10 of a calendar by licking a stamp, and it just makes me insane when there's so many events going on in St. Paul. And my biggest success thing with this, too, is the blog that I did that really is totally events. I know, Pat, you use that sometimes. But it's all the events in St. Paul organized by date. It takes a little bit of time to put that all up, and then with all the links to every single event that I put in there, it did improve the search engine so much that it's one of the top 5 blogs in St. Paul. And there's no commentary on it. It's totally posting the month's worth of events so people can plan ahead. And hopefully with the new company behind me, we can really get this rocking and rolling with a lot of different things and resident portals and stuff like that. But it's fairly easy to do. And I know that if you're plugged in Facebook with all the events going on, it's easy to share and repost with links, and then that drives more and more people to you as the expert. So it's not that hard.
Thank you. What is your blog, Karen?
St. Paul Concierge, spelled saint.info.
Okay, thank you.
You could type that in the chat too so people can see it.
Oh yeah, okay.
That'd be great.
Again, I was kind of scratching the surface on a lot of this. Another thing that's just huge right now with search engine optimization is videos. Just before this meeting, I was up on YouTube searching concierge videos, and there was so few of them. I would highly recommend with your business, you could create a slideshow or a video and create a YouTube channel and post some slideshows or videos up to YouTube, and again, use keywords like concierge services, put a link back to your website from the video, again, use geo-targeting like concierge services in Dallas or DC or wherever you're from. It's amazing that there's very few things out there for concierge services right now. You could really probably dominate the landscape with it if you were to go out and start posting some videos to YouTube.
Yep, that's the new thing with Vine and everything. And yeah, we're just at the beginning of all. It doesn't exist in leasing either. I'm in a residential apartment building, so it's just going to be a blast to really just rock it all and make everybody involved in the community and in our services and what our management is like. I just think there's so many possibilities, and it's all free. It just takes time.
Exactly.
Others?
So 15 minutes a day, you can do that, right?
Yeah.
I know you guys do a lot of chapter newsletters. Make sure in your newsletters that you guys are sharing that information. You know, if you have a chapter LinkedIn group, make sure that you're putting that, you know, hey, join our LinkedIn group, guys, with the link so that people can easily just click on it in the email newsletter or the PDF that you're sending out so that they can join that group. Or the national group, you know, put that link in your newsletter, or if you do a national newsletter. And even from an NCA standpoint, you know, get your members to like the national chapter page. You know, that's really important so that you guys can communicate. And Facebook even has groups. You guys could create a Facebook group around Concierge Association, and you can invite people within that group as well. And you
we have a Facebook page. Is that different,
right.
Corey?
It is, you know, like, I mean, from a personal standpoint, I have my softball team. I'm the captain, and I created a softball group that has all my members from my softball team, and I posted my schedule on it. We can interact with each other. We can send each other messages. I mean, that's how small a group can be. So you could create, you know, a small group around your Minneapolis club on Facebook. You could create a group for your building residents. So basically, everybody that's you know, part of Facebook that you know that's a resident within your building, you could invite them all to join in on your Facebook group. And with that too, Facebook has event tools. So now you've got a group that is on Facebook, and you could create an event on Facebook and invite all those people that are within the group to that event. And you can start using that as an interactive tool.
Cool. All right, anybody else have a question? Anything? Any other comments, questions?
I have a question. Sandy Berry.
Sure.
Corey, this awesome presentation, we're going to be able to print this out. I've been taking notes, and I can't read a thing I've written.
Yes, absolutely. It's on the website. I'll probably, Pat, maybe you can send out that link. Basically, this is the link, which is, are you guys still seeing this slide after the webinar?
Yes.
So it's ncakey.org/social-media.
Okay.
That has the PowerPoint presentation on there. If you scroll down to that page, you'll see that.
Perfect.
Terrific. Yeah.
So
the whole
basically,
webinar
again,
itself is going to be available on ReadyTalk too for a little while, you guys. So if you want to go back in and revisit this, but then once I think we decided in 30 days on the ReadyTalk, and then we're going to transfer it to the NCA website. So then it'll be available out there too. The whole.
Awesome.
So readytalk.com.
Correct.
You can sort of brainstorm to come up with a singular resource that we really concentrate on, I think. Don't you think, Pat? So that we can at least click right into a single source, you know, because we do need to increase our chat and our communication for things that come up. Hey, I need tickets for this or whatever. And, you know, it would be nice instead of having to go to 4 places to see what everybody needs or, you know, for the NCA. If we could really concentrate on one even, it would be great.
Yeah.
To amp up with. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
Good thoughts. All right, folks. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Corey, for being our presenter tonight. We appreciate your time and energy and putting this all together for us.
Thanks for doing it.